In the beginning, we see a girl who thinks that she wants to become a person who shines like a star. Even though she knows she is very far from it, she is still confident that she will reach it one day. Then we see an announcement that the wedding preparations have been finished and soon they will greet the bride and groom. The announcer tells everybody to give them a big applause. Then the groom enters a hall and on the other side, we see a lady with sunglasses. Whereas she thinks, how can I just let go the traitor be like that? And she is very angry. Then we see the past of a previous week where the groom and the girl are sitting and the man says that he's going to get married and that her father-in-law is the strongest presidential candidate. That's why their relationship couldn't continue and they should break up now. He also mockingly tells her that she's very naive and stupid. He mentions how she didn't even get suspicious when he always ignored her calls and give photo shoots as excuses. He starts blabbering about all the things they had done in the past, but he asks her how she couldn't have known about his overseas photo shoot schedule. He was mocking her as he breaks up with her. Then at the present scene we see that the lady in the corner thinks that she has to be patient for the sake of herself, and she thinks that since he has already invited her to eat, so she should eat first. It looks like she thinks that everything comes after food. I like that girl. She was eating food when suddenly a waitress came and said that this is a seat that has already been arranged for the guest and she will escort her to her seat, and then she asks her name, where she gets very embarrassed. And she thinks, what is she doing here? Even though she was embarrassed, she thinks it's because she doesn't want to care, or because she just went to ask him to be nervous when he saw her. But then we see a past where she thinks that both of their parents have died in the accident. That's why they got together and they fell in love. But it looks like there was nothing but words from him. She doesn't want to admit it, but no one can be as dumb as her. Back to the present, the waitress tells her that the guest has arrived, madam, so you should go back to your seat, and she stands up and she tells her name that her name is Yura Wanged. And then the waitress takes her to her seat and she sits in the corner and thinks that she was wearing the makeup and sunglasses. And then looking around she thinks that she has lost her sunglasses and she must have left it on the table. Then the scene changes and we see a man. Whereas he was sitting there with his friend, and then his friend tell that they have given the soup and look like he ate it. But he denied that, saying that he doesn't eat this, and then suddenly, Yura came and took her sunglasses and run from there, saying sorry to him. Seeing this scene, the man tell his friend that looked like she was the one who ate soup, and after seeing her like that, he thinks he has seen her somewhere, but he doesn't know where. He tries to remember but he can't remember her. After giving some thoughts he thinks that nothing will change even if he remember her. But on the other side, Yura was puzzled by thinking that she is a very crazy person. On the next day, her manager, Jim, tells her that she has passed and the time has come for her. Just by listening to this, Yura also gets shocked, thinking, is she serious that the Time movie director chooses her? And her manager shouts that yes, they chose her. They both get very excited and start hugging each other and dancing on the floor. After digesting the great news, she asks him if it's real, that she is really not dreaming it. Her manager comforts her, saying that yes, it's real and she's not messing with her. Then we learn about The Time, which is a new movie directed by the young Han, and he is a representative of the Korean movie industry. Whereas the movie, it is very much awaited movie by the audience, whereas they got to see in this movie two stars who have ruled the box office of the cinema. And the names of the stars are Hyan Kang and Hong Hyan Cho. Then we see Yura, who thinks that 2 months ago she auditioned for the female lead for The Time movie, but she gave up because no one has contacted her. But it looks like she has finally freed herself from the 7 year of ambiguity. Then we get a flashback of her filmography where she appears in a coffee ads and at a teen drama, a shoe drink ad, and some normal roles where she was just a side character. It looks like she was not a side character but a side of a side character in the ads. After digesting the news, she tells that it's not time to be happy, and they have to take the script and she should memorize the script. She sees the article that the actress has been changed. That's why the shoot has been pushed back. It's why they had chosen her, and the production of the movie is going as scheduled. So she has to prepare this very immediately. Then her manager tells her that the shooting will take 3 days from now in Busan and it's time for them to get ready. And just by listening to this, she sees the script. While reading the script, she thinks that she doesn't have any lines. Looks like the role she got was also a side character who will not have any great impact on the movie, and she asks her manager if it is real. It is truly a part of Hiram, a Time movie part, where her manager tell her that she is right and the movie is Time. But the role she has offered is for Susie. Just by listening to the name, she gets very depressed thinking that she got the role of Susie, who is the main lead's ex, and her face is revealed several times for the flashbacks. The role she's getting of someone who is drawn in despair and finally ended her own life. After thinking of the script, she thinks that she has memorized all the lines of Susie because she also is the one who gave up on hope of leaving. Then she thinks that she will depress other time, and then she stands up thinking that alright, maybe this time she will play and steal all the public attention in the time movie. Then they get ready, they both got excited, whereas the manager tells her that this is the right time, that she should return directly the handkerchief. Just by listening to this, Yura gets shocked and she thinks that yes, she should give it since it's had already been a year. Then we get a flashback of a year ago, whereas we see a shooting is commencing where the director is shouting that the red ribbon girl, how idiots you are, and she is doing wrong, and the red ribbon is none other than our Yura, and he tell her that she is just an extra. But she is doing wrong. That mistake even a lead didn't do. She apologized to him and she gets depressed where her manager comforts her, saying that the director always scolds people whenever he feels unwell, so you should not get depressed with this and you shouldn't apologize to make him feel bad. Whereas she tells her manager that she's alright and she's going to take a bath, and she takes her leave when she was walking. She stands with the support of the wall, thinking that it has already been a year since she started her career, but no one remembers her name. And she thinks that in this situation the only thing she can do is cry, and she starts crying. But while she was crying, suddenly a man offers a handkerchief to her, and just by listening to his voice and the man's face she got shocked. And the man is none other than Hyun Kang. Seeing him here, she thinks that why did he appear at a time like this, and she apologizes to him, telling that the schedule or the shooting is delayed because of her, where she kept apologizing. But suddenly, Hyun offers her a handkerchief, saying that the dress came from a sponsor so she shouldn't make it dirty, and she should use this to wipe her tears. She thanked him and she felt very grateful for him. Then he tells her that he will be going now, and she asks what about the handkerchief, and he tells her that she doesn't have to return it, she can use it as she likes, and he takes leave. And while she was busy in her thought, thinking that the handkerchief looked very expensive, Hyun suddenly turns over and asks her name, whereas she gets very impressed by his look and she was astounded to speak, but then she controls herself and tells him that her name is Yura Wang. Now, at the present time, she thinks that at that time she couldn't thank him because she wasn't feeling good. She also thinks that he has already forgotten about her, but however, she still feels honored that she can play in the same movie with him, and she thinks that she can't wait to act with him in the movie. And the next day in the Busan, the shooting of the movie started, whereas Yura gets shocked seeing Jeong-woo, and he also got shocked after seeing her ex in the shooting. They both ask each other why they're here. What a way to meet ex-girlfriend and boyfriend after breakup. She tells him that, of course, she is here for the shooting and asks him why he is here. Then suddenly, someone called him saying the director is calling for Jeong-woo. He replied, "Okay, I will be right there, right away." He started mocking her, saying that it looked like she got a minor role and she should better watch her mouth. He doesn't want his name to entangle with her. After saying this, he says that he will leave now and he takes his leave, utterly shocking her. Suddenly, her manager came running, saying that Yura, it's bad news. She tells her that she heard from the crew that he also came here. Just by seeing the reaction of Yura, she knows that she has already met him. They both talk about how he can be here, and the manager replied that she doesn't know the details but says that he is also replacing Chang Hyun, and it's because something had suddenly happened. That's why some crew only knew about it. Yura gets shocked listening to this, thinking that he suddenly became the main lead of the story, yet she has only got a minor role in the movie. Her manager replied that their investors suddenly took back their investment, thus the production cost is insufficient, and the movie budget is reduced. And she also tells him that they know that his wife is the daughter of a strongest presidential candidate. Look like everywhere nepotism is there. Yura recoils her memory and thinks that even though she almost forgot about him, her wounds never healed. She thinks that's why he became the lead even though she is an extra till now. And Yura gets depressed, and her manager tries to console her, telling her that she should tell them that she can't shoot today because of health problem. But she denies, and she tells her that she should not avoid him, and casting in a minor role is more satisfying and honorable because having a main role through nepotism means it's very bad. The manager gets impressed by her and tells her that she's right, and she tells him that she's very cool. She gave her a script and tells her that she should read the script in the car, and she will join her after when she shares a drink with the crew. And she also tells her that she should focus on her acting. She pulls her manager, and in a depressed state, the manager asks her what's wrong with her. She said to her manager that she is very sorry, and it's because she is not good and attractive enough. But the manager denies, saying that, "You are a very silly person. And who said to you that you are not beautiful, because no one is as beautiful as you are in my eyes?" Her manager is right because she's very beautiful. She also tells her that she will be in trouble if she keeps repeating her scene today because her shoot will be in the water, so she should do her best. Yura knows that she is indebted to her manager because she always supports her, and it is not now a time to fuss over. She goes into the car and reads the script, and now she knows that Suzy has a small part but has a big influence on the story, and that's why she will make this opportunity to show everyone her talent. Then the scene changes, and we see a Hyun talking on the phone, and he says that he knows everything, and he will protest it, and he asks her if he is upset. He remains silent, but the person on the call said that he is upset, but they don't have any solution. And he tells him that even if something happened, the director will ignore him and start the shoot today. So you should start shooting, and you should not protest it. He also tells him that it's not like he doesn't know the trick using time. But they can't do anything, so they have to be patient and justify a movie. There will be another chance to act in the same movie, so they should not worry about it. And after listening to this, he gets assurance and tells him that he will act. After recoiling his memory, the first time he saw Jeong-woo a month ago in his wedding. He doesn't expect that Jeong-woo would meet him like this, and he also recalled the memory where Jeong-woo came to greet him, and he bowed respectfully because he is an elder senior actor. The crew also wrapped around his finger because his wife has a strong authority. He thinks that it's all messed up because it's all about nepotism. And then suddenly her manager shouts that they got bad news and it's a very bad news, and he asked his manager what happened. And the manager asks him why he is sleeping here, and his manager tell him that he has to help the director, and if they let him continue like this then he could kill somebody today. He gets shocked listening to it and doesn't say any word. Then the scene changes, and we see the director shouting cut, in a very angry mood. He shouts at Yura, saying that she is hesitating and terrified, and she is supposed to act as somebody who has killed herself by drowning, but she is acting like she is someone who needs help instead of dying. And we see Yura apologizes to the director, feeling very embarrassed. But the director doesn't listen to her and shouts at her, asking how many times she is going to apologize, and if she can't act then just go back to Seoul, and don't trouble us anymore. Yura asks the director to give her one more chance and then she will do this properly. Then the crew member came and tells the director, "Sir, let's take a break now, and if they continue like this, they will just annoy everyone and it will just drag the shooting." After some thought, the director says okay in an angry mood and say everybody to takes rest for now. Then Yura came to the assistant director and she thanked him. But the assistant director tells her that she doesn't need to be thankful because she is the third person that has been cast as Suzy. And the crew members are already tired of searching for a new one. The Yura manager comes and tells her that they should go and they should need to keep her body warm. Then on the back, Jeong-woo is seeing all of this says that she is still like this, and then the Yura goes to the car and her manager says that they should keep the car heater on and now she will take many hot packs for her. And then Yura thanked her and she sat at a car and thinks that how could she mess up 15 times for a single scene. And then she should focus on herself, saying that she should focus now. And then suddenly Jeong-woo came in the car and Yura gets shocked. And he tells her that, how impressive, with a smile on his face but looked like he was mocking her. Then the scene changes and the manager asks Hyun where he is going and he tells his manager that he is going to calm down the director and he said the actress who cast Suzy could die. It's freezing today also and the director also doesn't know the limit. Then at the present scene where Jeong-woo says that does she want him to give her another role, and he will help her for the old time's sake, but Yura declined his offer and said that it's not needed and he should go away. But Jeong-woo mocks her saying that, "Don't take me as a bad person, I just want to help you, because we had a relationship that and that's why he pities on her." He also tells her she has worked hard for 7 years and isn't she tired at all. Listening to the words of Jeong-woo, she gets chills, and Yura tell him that could she ask him a one question whereas he says yes and then Yura asks her when they were in a relationship. Had he ever had any feelings for her, even just a little bit? And just by listening to this, he laughed like a maniac and tells her that what a dumb question is this, and he tell her that he will also ask her something. Then he asks her why did she date him, and he also tells her that he felt like he was playing with a kid for 8 months in their relationship, and it was only him who was patient, and she is like other guy that they have broken less than the other month. And she is poor, they doesn't have a background and what made her sure that he would always stay by her side. And he also tells her that she should be thankful, because he was with her for that long. Just by listening to this reply, Yura gets shocked that and he also tells her that she should realize how small value of her is. Then the scene changes and when we see Hyun came outside thinking that he will just go to the sea set right away but suddenly hear a scream, "Hey," and he sees Yura, who tells to Jang-woo to stop it. After seeing her like this, he thinks, what's wrong with her? And she starts trembling and sits down and starts crying. He sees her, and he tries to remember and think that if he looks very closely with the long hair with a wide white dress in the middle of winter, it looks like it's an actor who's playing Suzy's role. Then Hyun say her name Suzy, and just by seeing him, Yura gets shocked. She stands up and says to him, "Nice to meet you, senior." And then Hyun thinks that when he take a closer look at this, he think, how could they treat her like this in the cold weather? And then Suzy tells her that she is Yura Wang and she is playing the role of Suzy. She also apologizes for greeting the senior this late. Then there is an awkward atmosphere and Hyun think that the director is really very cruel. But on the other hand, Yura thinks, why doesn't he say anything? Did he already hear about that? Then Yura think that she is the same as a year ago. Why did she let him see this side of her? Then Hyun says her name and says to her that she dropped her coat. Hyun then picks up the coat of Yura and made her wear the coat, saying, "You dropped this?" And she thanked him. Hyun stand there silently thinking that it's because her mouth is freezing. That's why she can't even speak clearly. If she will keep like this, then there will be a problem when they film. Then he tells her that the director is over there and she should go there to take a shower and just go over with it. Yura gets very embarrassed and blushes, thinking that he has heard about it. He tells her that she's fine and she doesn't feel like that. But Hyun doesn't listen to her and says to her that he understands her very well, and he will not let things be like this. He will go and ask the director directly, but Yura holds him back and says to him that please don't, senior, don't do it. And when she says this, Hyun thinks that now her throat is better. By taking a close look at her face, he is reminded of her from somewhere before. And then he asked her if she is looking like this then. When he was about to say something, suddenly her manager came running, saying, "Yura, you are here." Then Hyun say hello to her, and just by listening to the hello from Hyun, her manager also gets shocked and blushes. Thinking that he is here, she controls herself and introduces herself and thanks him for taking care of Yura, and says that she is her manager. And she also tells him that although they really never talk more, but now it's Yura scene and they should take leave now. Then Hyun says okay, and her manager said to her that the director is waiting for her. They should go. Then Yura tells to the Hyun to excuse her, and then they walk away. But Hyun was constantly staring at her, thinking that why does she look embarrassed on Miran's wedding day? And he thinks that her name is Yura Wang. And he suddenly recoiled his memory, where he already met her in the past when he gave her a handkerchief. He gave his handkerchief to her when she kept crying, and he remembered that she is the same girl whom he has already met. Hyun thinks that today's meeting count has a third meeting and that they already have met 3 times and he doesn't know what's wrong with her. But she always cries every time they meet. And then we see that Yura and her manager run to the shooting set of the movie. Now Yura goes and meets everyone. She apologizes for making all of them wait. But we see the director is mad at her and he scolds her. Yura bows down and keeps on apologizing. In her mind, she knows that she has made the director show up and wait for her. This is such a mistake even a newbie wouldn't make. She is ashamed because of this. The director tells her that he has heard that Yura has been in this industry for 7 years. He scolds her by saying just because you have been doing this for 7 years and you are experienced now, that's why you are making director and all the staff wait. All the other staff members are also shocked. They all know that even Yura is wrong, but the director is making it worse for her. They know that nagging at the other staff members beneath him is in the director's behavior. He insults Yura by saying that because of her behavior and indiscipline, she is still getting side roles even after debuting for years. Hearing this was like a lightning strike to her. She gets flustered and emotional by hearing this. She tells the director that it's actually her first time making this mistake. The director keeps babbling about how incompetent Yura is. He kept insulting her in front of all these people. He says that he has seen a lot of people like her just because they have debuted for years they think they are special. He was going to scold her more, but someone comes here and takes a cigarette from his mouth. In anger he turns behind to see who the person is and we get to know that it's no other than the actor Hyun Kang. He tells the director that why would you vent your anger on someone else? He says that he knows that he is angry because of something he has told. Hyun has told the director to get rid of Kim Young-woo to bring back Chang Hyun. That's why he is mad. The director shouts at Hyun by saying that he himself has refused the role, then why are you here messing around? They have a brief argument back and forth and suddenly Hyun tells Yura to go and get ready. Taking the opportunity, Yura leaves from here. The director calls out Hyun for humiliating him to boost his confidence. Hyun simply smiles at all his remarks. He asks the director if the girl who is playing the role of Suzy did she go to an acting school. The director tells him that he doesn't know about it. She has given an audition for some other role. The director says he doesn't know much about Yura. Hyun asks him how can someone who has taken an audition doesn't know about it. To which the director tells him that his assistant has shown her, not him. And he reveals to Hyun that Yura has debuted for 7 years now. Hyun is shocked to know about it because 7 years is a long time. He questions why haven't he seen her in any movies. He is totally stunned, but director says that she has played multiple supporting roles, but he feels that that couldn't be true. Upon Hyun's asking, he tells him to wait and see it for himself. Here we see Yura is getting very nervous. Her manager is concerned about her and asks her if she is okay. To this, she replies that she has got the feeling it's a good thing that she actually feels like dying right now. Hearing this, the manager gets speechless. She holds her hand and tells her that she knows that it's a bad thing, but she wants her to feel like this only for now so that she can do this scene. We can clearly see that Yura is upset. She tells her that she will do it. She remembers that she has completely messed things up. She thinks to perform this role better, she must recall all the times when she wanted to give up. Now everyone gets on standby and the director rolls the camera and tells them to action. Yura starts to walk towards the seashore. She is sad and heartbroken by all the insults she had today from the director. She goes inside the water and thinks about the things that hurt her very much. She remembers the dark things she faced in this industry for years. She remembers the time when she got the phone call and learned about her parents' death. Clearly, she is heartbroken by remembering all those things and tears fall down from her eyes. The camera captures the moment clearly, and everyone is shocked to see her acting so perfectly. Hyun tells the director she doesn't look like a person that got 10 takes before. Even the director is speechless upon seeing her acting. Even Hyun is getting heartbroken by seeing tears in Yura's eyes. He feels that it's not just acting. After the scene is captured properly, the director calls for cut. Everyone is happy and applauds for Yura for acting so amazingly, but we see that her manager doesn't react much. She looks stunned. She looks at Yura, who is not coming out of the water. But suddenly Hyun looks at something and takes out his jacket and rushes towards the sea. The manager was about to run to save Yura, but before she can go, Hyun runs past her. Everyone is standing on the beach. They see that Yura has drowned herself. Hyun goes inside the sea. He swims towards Yura and tries to save her. He goes and holds Yura's hand and takes her out of the water. He takes her out of the water and lays her down on the beach. Everyone gathers around her, and the manager is crying a lot. Hyun soon starts to give CPR. He puts his hand on her chin and gently opens her mouth. He leans towards her and puts his mouth on her lips and starts to give her oxygen through a beautiful kiss. After some time, she regains her consciousness. Her manager is really emotional and goes to hug her. She tells him that Hyun saved her. After that, she looks up and sees Hyun sitting in front of her. Both of their gazes meet and she holds Hyun's hand. Hyun thinks that she is trying to tell him thank you, but suddenly she says that it's really salty. She makes a cute but annoyed face because of the salty water, and Hyun gets speechless that all she is thinking about is the salt but not about what he did for her. Soon Hyun goes back to his home, all drenched in seawater. His manager is shocked to see him like this. He asks if something happened to him. He thinks that Hyun might have quarreled with the director and someone pushed him into the sea. He is really concerned and worried about Hyun. What if he gets cold because of this? Hyun doesn't pay attention to his words. On his mind, he was only thinking about Yura. He finds her really cute and starts to laugh because of the things she said about seawater being salty. He blushes a little by thinking about Yura and thinks that she is such a cute girl. Now, after taking a bath, he comes out and shows us his six-pack abs while wearing the shirt. But as soon as he comes out, he takes the script, which makes his manager shocked. Upon asking, Hyun tells him that he has to stay up late to follow the schedule. The manager is annoyed because he has plans to play poker on the first floor with the other managers. Listening to this, Hyun tells him that he can do whatever he wants, or he can come with him to the shooting location. The manager quickly agrees, and tells him that he will see him off at the set. Hyun and his manager both exit the hotel. They see Yura's manager is talking to someone. The manager was talking to a staff member who was informing her that Hyun and some other staff had to film all night. That's why there are not many rooms left. Hyun sneaks up from behind and surprises them, asking the staff member why there are no more rooms left. To this, the staff member coldly tells Hyun that the new schedule was extended because Hyun himself was unable to complete his role. Hearing this, Hyun is flustered. Hyun apologizes to Yura's manager because, due to his schedule, Yura couldn't get a proper room. He asks her if it's really okay if she doesn't go to the hospital. Yura's manager explains to him that Yura told her that she is still fine, so it's okay if she didn't go to see the doctor. The both of them were talking, and suddenly Yura comes out. She gets all flustered to see Hyun standing outside. Her manager tells her that they were talking about her, and she gets shy to hear that. Even though he feels that Yura looks really good, he goes near her and asks her if she is okay. Yura thanks him for saving her. She explains to him that she is very happy to film at this set with him. Hyun smiles while looking at Yura and thinks that she has such a great spirit. After this, Yura bows and thanks him again before leaving. But suddenly she remembers something. She asks Hyun to wait and tells him that there is something she wants to give back to him. Understanding what's going on, we can see behind them that both managers are having a great chat between them. Yura comes with a blue handkerchief and gives it to Hyun. She tells him that he had lent it to her almost a year ago on the film set. She asks Hyun if he remembers it. Hyun tells her that he had told her that it's fine not to return it to him, but Yura thanks him and tells him to take it back. She starts to thank him again and again for silly things like the handkerchief, for doing acting so well, and for this and that. Hyun scolds her and tells her that's enough, and she should get back inside and rest now. Suddenly the manager comes and tells them that the director called them, so they should leave now. All four of them say goodbye to each other and get separate. We see that Hyun's manager is really happy to meet Jin, who is Yura's manager. It feels like he has already fallen for her. While his manager was only talking about Robin's manager, the only thing in Hyun's mind was Yura. He was only thinking about her. He suddenly turns behind and tells his manager that he has something to do, and he should go first. He runs away from there, and the manager is angry because he was just going to see him off and go to play poker. We see Hyun rush to meet Yura. He was standing in front of her with the key to his room in his hand. He tells Yura to sleep in his bedroom. Yura is shocked by hearing what Hyun has just said to her. She asks him to repeat what he said, and he again tells her to sleep in his room. Yura gives him an annoyed look because she thought of something else. She shouts at Hyun and tells him that she is not that kind of person. Hyun gets shocked and flustered to hear this from Yura's mouth. Hyun tries to explain to her, but she shouts back at him to get out of here. But now he explains that the room is empty, so she can relax with her manager because he is going to film all night today. He explains that because of his mistake, they have to shoot one more day. That's why he wants to help her by giving his room. After hearing this, she starts to blush because she had totally misunderstood Hyun. After saying all that, she can't make eye contact with Hyun, and Hyun understands that. He tells her that he is going to leave his room key so she can take it. He won't be coming all night today. After he leaves, Yura's manager comes here. She sees that Yura is acting weirdly, so she asks her about it. She asks in a sad voice if she knows that Hyun was going to stay out all night for shooting. And the manager reminds her that she has already informed her about some staff going to film overnight. Yura is really angry at Jin for not informing her properly. She cries in anger and tells her about the whole story about Hyun. Now Yura and Jin go to Hyun's room, but we see Yura is unsure about going there, but Jin makes up her mind. After leaving her at Hyun's room, she tells her that she will go and play poker now, so Yura should rest. We see Yura is thinking that she is really sensitive to sleep, that's why she is planning to stay up all night today. As soon as she enters Hyun's room, it was really luxurious and big. She gets on the bed and suddenly feels shocked and shy. She can smell the scent of Hyun from his bed. She feels that a lot of stuff happened today. She was fine until now, but as soon as she laid on this bed, she suddenly feels tired. She is thinking about Hyun and feels that his condition is good because he has saved her from drowning yesterday. Yura is thinking about a lot of things, and suddenly she falls asleep. We can see someone standing outside Hyun's door who has seen Yura go inside. The day when Hyun was sitting on the side of the beach and reading the script, Yura comes towards him and thanks him for lending her his room. They talk a bit, and Hyun gives Yura a cup of coffee to drink and tells Jin that he has heard a lot about her from his manager. Yura asks Hyun about his night if he slept well. To this, Hyun makes an annoying face and tells her that he slept outside in the cold, and even his back hurts. Hearing this, Yura gets all flustered and shocked. But now Hyun tells her that he was just joking and he slept in the manager's room. We can see the chemistry between them is blooming like a flower day by day. As they were talking, someone comes from behind and calls Hyun. Yura is shocked to see the person, and we get to know it's his ex-boyfriend, Kim Jeong-woo. Hyun doesn't look happy to see him, and he coldly greets Jeong. Even though Kim knows Yura very well, he still acts as if he doesn't know her in front of Hyun. He pretends to not knowing Yura, and this makes Yura really angry. But suddenly she gets all flustered because of something he has said. Kim claims that yesterday he saw Yura go into Hyun's room at night, insulting them both by saying that he feels they both worked together all night. We can see Hyun is really annoyed by this. In between the conversation, Kim tells Hyun that he knows that he had come to his wedding, and Yura is shocked to know that Hyun was at the wedding too. Hyun shouts at Kim and tells him that he was shooting all night until the morning. This makes Hyun speechless, and he doesn't know what to say. And he swiftly changes the topic by saying that he went to rest early yesterday. But Hyun is still annoyed and tells him to apologize properly, which makes the whole situation really tense and dramatic. Suddenly, Hyun's manager comes to control the situation and tells Hyun that it's a public shoot, so lots of reporters are here, so he shouldn't pick a fight. Hyun sighs and takes a tissue paper roll and gives it to Kim, telling him that he is looking really scared, so he should wipe off his sweat. This makes Kim more and more angry, and he tries to take out his anger on Yura. He shouts at her and asks her why she went into Hyun's room. Her manager is really angry to hear these trashy words from Kim's mouth. She turns behind in anger, but Yura tells her to calm down. She moves forward. She insults Kim by saying that he has a really empty mind to think such foolish things. She puts the tissue paper on Kim's head and insults him more by saying he is getting cold sweat by pretending to be strong. We can see Yura is really confident even in front of her ex-boyfriend. They both leave from here while manager Jin is still laughing at Kim. Kim is really angry and is only thinking about taking revenge from Yura. This guy is really annoying. I am pretty sure he will surely do something stupid. What do you think? What will he do to take his revenge? Let's see in the next video what he will do. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.